need be. I know how to tech community. We can keep it for the full weekend. I wanted to take it to one day so we could just all have a day together, because it's such uh, a monumentous event when we all come together. We don't never have enough time to really get it in like we want to, but hopefully we'll have that time this time, right? Yeah, we'll get it all the way in. Shouts out to Miss Magic. Thank you for that, beloved. Appreciate it. Yeah, so this is Q&A with Dr.RÉ. For those that don't know, I'm your beloved brother, Dr.RÉ, OrgoniteTEK, Master OrgoniteTEK Builder, Teacher of Raynology, Wielder of Primordial Energy. I am my ancestors' keeper. I am an altar activation expert, and I'm a master of alignment, right? The name of this live is Q&A with Dr.RÉ. There is no set topic here. It's just question and answers. Once we get to 5,000 likes, we begin taking questions in the comment section. These lives are dedicated to people that are new to their spiritual journey, right? Those that are COVID woke, those people that are just leaving the confines of organized religion, for those people that have not been initiated into any spiritual system and or sacred order or organization. You have 7 years or less on your path. You are a neophyte on your journey. These lives are dedicated to you, right? And we cover everything under, over, and within the sun, over and over within the planet, throughout the full visible spectrum, the full color spectrum, on world, off world, and into the afterlife. That's the range of things that we do cover here on 1089 TV. Physical knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and mental knowledge, right? So as you guys come into the room, start tapping the screen. I do appreciate it. As aforementioned, we will be in Houston. Houston, Saturday, March the 21st. That's the first day of spring. And I look forward to it as I am a master of alignment. And I told you guys, it was the first day of spring and we in the new moon. Right now, it's the official day of the new moon. If you got your two intentions for my people in the community, seed your intentions. Tonight is the night for you to seed your intentions. The next 3 days, one internal, one external. You want to make certain that you're cultivating these seeds and preparing for the meditation phase of the moon. Remember Tahuti. Remember Osset. Remember Kansu. These beings are totally active and responsive to your petitions during this time. So they will be monitoring your intentions, whether it's an internal one or an external and or both, right? You can't petition to these beings. I told you guys how to, chant their names in order to beckon their call, right? So that'll be tonight to the 21st, which we'll go into the second phase of the moon then. Right? Get your intention. See how fast that happened? 8 days ago, we went over this stuff, and now here we are on the actual day. On the actual day. This is not a game. No, I think I did 7 days or something like that. 7 days before the new moon, because it was the 11th. I just got back from Atlanta. So, that's what it was. March the 11th, and now here we are, March the 18th. Just that fast. Things is moving along. We are in the Chinese New Year of the horse, right? And the horse is always keeping a perpetual pace. You know what I mean? It keeps shit moving. Y'all be sitting around waiting for stuff to come to you. But when it do come to you, you don't be ready. Miss Magic. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. But I'm just saying, y'all people in Houston, I'm gonna be there Saturday. I'm gonna be there Saturday. Now after 4 o'clock, y'all want to just pull up and purchase merchandise and see the OrgoniteTEK, and you can do that. You want to purchase some ancestor money, some oils, I have all that stuff available too. You want to just come get hit with the staff, you do have to pay a price. I'm not just gonna do that shit for free now, right? Those people are charging me for that space. So, you know, it, none of that stuff is just going on because you like, oh man, I'm so special. Nah. you know, people want to niggify you when you doing business. They try to niggify you. They want to get niggalicious with you, but they be upright with the pink man. Whatever the pink man say, they fall right on the line with it. When it comes to you, they want to niggify. Like, man, why you got to be charging? Why this? Why that? And it's like, damn, for real? It's 2026, man. We had to evolve, and that's what I show people how to do. When you start operating from who you are spiritually, you can't help but to course correct who you are on an organic level, right? That goes for your behavior, your conduct, the way you respond to others, the way you react or don't react. All of that comes into play when you start to tune into who you are spiritually, because you're already a spiritual being. You just been under the mistaken assumption that you're this physical shell when you're not, right? I've come to give people that spoiler alert for those that haven't got it yet, right? And I've been on my journey over 29 years, and in that time, I've experienced quite a bit that has catapulted me through certain doorways that I didn't even mean to open. But it's for the better. You know what I mean? You just can't be afraid to take those quantum jumps. Because when you don't take those jumps, those doorways do not stay open forever. It closes up on you, right? And you get stuck in your same cycle and your same loops. You're too used to that same shit over and over again. So when something comes to open up a window of opportunity for you and you don't jump on it, that's on you. Right? That's on you. Shit don't be waiting for you. Shouts out to Dr.RÉ, Egypt of the West, Kodesh, Wohani. I came in 1997 to the land with the Supreme Grandmaster Teacher, Dr. Malachi Zadok Yorkel, right? I didn't know him personally. I didn't get to walk with him like that. But what I'm saying is I took advantage of everything that was there for the time that it was there. You know what I'm saying? At the time that it was there. I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna blow this window of opportunity. Like shit, I'm taking advantage of this shit while it's here. And then now one day, not that we wanted that, but one day it ended up not being there no more. And I was fortunate enough, I feel very fortunate to had undergone the experiences that I did at that time. I could have been locked up. I could have been indicted for some bullshit. Or maybe bang the fuck up, just being out here in the streets and not knowing who I am, not knowing my way, not figuring none of those things out. But I wasn't afraid to take that. Get your ass off my couch. I wasn't afraid to take those quantum jumps. Ever. Anytime a window will open up, I'm going to jump through to that opportunity. Right? Especially if I'm given an intuitive prompting. The signs are always on the proverbial wall for you what to do. A lot of times people just, I'm just going to gloss over it. You can't do that shit. You're not going to be here 1,000 years. So when those windows open up for you, take advantage of those opportunities. You never know what it can do to steer the course of your life in a positive direction. Because as I talked about earlier, it's all about symmetrical alignment. What are you in symmetrical alignment with? If you're not doing something that you're fond of doing and you feel like you're toiling and you feel like it's stressing you, that means that you're not in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. Your own body is responding to it, right? Your own body start responding to that shit. You're like, ah, man, my back hurt all the damn time. Yeah, because you're not in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing some other shit that you're not supposed to be doing. Stop doing that shit. You'll feel better. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you one telltale sign that you know that you're in alignment. You got time to go to the gym. Like effortlessly. Like that window of opportunity opens up for you to get a good workout in. You know what I mean? On a consistent basis. That's when you know you're in alignment. You know what I mean? When you go to the remember when growing up, you couldn't wait to go to gym class? You remember that? By the time you get to about the 5th or 6th grade, it stopped making you go to gym. Oh, you don't have to go no more. They started looking at people that were being obese and unhealthy. It's like, oh, don't say nothing about that person. They don't want to they don't want to run. They don't have to. That was a, you really did need gym class. They always try to undermine gym like it's just a time to have fun. Yeah, you do have fun with it, but you also need to, you know, work on your cardiovascular. You need to be working on your respiratory system. You need to keep the blood flowing. That's why so many people end up with high blood pressure. Because just like when you stop going to school, you stop learning, a lot of you. And just like when they took it up out of your curriculum, what happened? Now you started gaining weight. Now you started having high blood pressure, right? All of that stuff, that was systematic. That was a stratagem. I was talking to my son the other day. I was like, yo, man, I didn't even want to be a basketball player, but I still got out there every day and hoop. You know what I mean? We got sick of playing each other. We wanted to start playing with each other. So we'd go up to this park, and the grown men that had a basketball court, both of them. You had to come up there with your squad and learn how to, beat them niggas. And that became the agenda. Just in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, yo, man, I got my little squad. You have to come with your own little five. Because niggas ain't gonna pick you up on their team. And that's how we kept our little gym thing going. Just constantly. Just always getting that breather in. Right? You gotta work out. You gotta get the blood pumping. You know. Yeah, the youngest call me OG when I'm out there. Because you see, I got the little white. But anywhere where I go, they like, damn, man, you look good. How old are you? About 35? Niggas be thinking I'm 35. Like, yeah, I'm 35. But they'll think I'm 35. Like, damn, even with this white. Like, come on, man. But you got to keep yourself looking good, feeling good. You know, if you look your best, if you feel your best, you will end up aligning with things that's for your best. You know what I'm saying? You'll start doing that. And when you do this stuff consistently, that just start to be your flow, right? That's the alpha wave that you functioning on. And things just start lining up with you. It's like, damn. Yeah, I ain't been hooping in a while. You know, my sons, they be busting my ass. They basketball players. They, AAU, they play year round and shit. Play for the school, they be playing. So they kind of wired for years just doing that shit. But I'm saying all that to say that, that's where the stratagem came into play to stop you from exercising, man. They acted like, oh, you're not a kid no more. You don't have to exercise. Bullshit. You seen the gyms? They keep putting gyms up everywhere because, yo, that's just essential. Especially if you see in the gym all the time. That's your sign. Like, yo, go get in the gym. Don't let yourself go. Too young to be having high blood pressures and heart attacks. For real. You got to get back in alignment. That's when you know that you in alignment. Because now you're going to have time to exercise and do all the things. You might not have all of the money that you want to have, but money not everything. It's necessary, but it's not a sufficient condition. A lot of people be missing that. You hear me? If you don't come from generational affluency, you don't even know what the fuck you missing out on. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Right? Even them, they have a perpetual work cycle where they don't get no off days. It's just, the fucking bell closed. That's when they close down, when the bell closed. And those people with generational wealth, I ain't talking about the person that's working and trying to get it. You hear me? Y'all be having a misperception. And I tell you, you got 100 years here at best. You know what I'm saying? They try to play with your ass, man. By the time you get to the end of your life, it's like, damn, you ain't even got the energy to do half the shit that you wanted to do when you was younger. Might as well build your own reality. Like I told you, Johnny Depp. Shouts out to Johnny Depp. Michael Jackson. Never Never Land with Elvis Presley place. I forgot what they called it. Elvis Presley, he built his own little shit. You hear me? Rick James, Prince. They had their own little palaces and their own little shit. And guess what? You say, oh, they could do that because they had money. They had money because they did what they was aligned to do. When you do what you aligned to do, it ain't going to be easy. You got to have a fucking behind the story with your story now. What make your story interesting if it's like, once upon a time I wanted to be this and then happily ever after. No, nigga, you got to have a story, a character arc, all that shit got to you gotta have a story to tell. You hear me? You gotta have a story to tell. If you don't have a story to tell, that means you ain't doing shit. You gotta have some adversity. You gotta have a trial, a tribulation, and a triumph to your story. And you can write your story out. That's right, billionaire. You gotta have gas, fuel to gas the dream. You know what I mean? You listen to Tyler Perry's story, that shit is riveting. You're like, oh man, he went through all that, he did all that. Cat Williams, when you hear his humble beginnings, you be like, oh man. But he persevered. They all persevered, and you can too, man. You can too. You don't have to be up in lights. You don't have to have no network production deal. That's not really necessary. You just hone in on what you want to do and start carving out those units of time towards that every day. You know what I mean? Every day. You just gotta want to. You gotta want to, beloved. And we in the new moon now, and in our 1089 tech community, we do something called Moon Magic, right? Moon Magic Mondays, and people been materializing, putting their internal and external intentions into play. And I'm telling y'all, I am living proof that this shit fucking works. Especially when you're emotionally high, in a positive high, I mean, like happiness, joy, you know what I mean? Ecstatic. Exactly, royal discipline. When you're on that right vibration, that's when you start saying them Gregory Grabavoy codes. That's when you start saying your affirmations and stuff. That makes it accelerate and happen faster. Then you got to visualize it, right? The image and animation, imagination. You have to imagine and see it, visualize that shit. Now your unconscious mind, like, no, that's not happening. That shit ain't happening because it's supposed to facilitate what goes on in the body. But it be trying to player hate on what your conscious mind is imagining. Like, oh man, you're not sitting in a Urus. You sitting in a Subaru. That's not a Urus, that's a Subaru. It's like, nah, man, this a Urus. And all your subconscious mind is doing is you keep on saying that. I'm just using me as an example. If you keep saying that, you're gonna be like, oh shit. Your subconscious mind gonna start working with your oversoul to bring that Urus into your reality. Now your unconscious mind can't help but to shut the fuck up and get out your way then. Once everybody else is in agreement. You know, the Rays have it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. But you have to be consistent. You have to be dedicated and devoted. Right? Regardless of what, rain, hail, sleet, or snow. And never give up on yourself, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm living proof of it. I'm living proof. I'm just gonna use the time from the moon magic with me already having a strong following in the community. And I was attempting to get the Baruti symbol on the t-shirt. Y'all remember that? And I put that moon magic into play. You know what I mean? That's right. He said, if you can't think it, save it. Life and death is spoken through the power of the tongue. Yeah. Your thoughts, your words, and then your actions. They had to all be in alignment. And once they're in alignment, beloved, you just got to stick to the script. Right? Stick to the script. I just said it. What was that? When was the last time I was live on here? I don't even remember. It might have been Monday. Was it Monday? Sunday? Whatever day it was. I'm like, yo, okay, we're going to do something in Houston. Just like that. I got on the horn. I called around. I found the little spot. And bam, now we doing it. Just that fast. I just came back from Atlanta. Right? But my tech was telling me, get your ass back out there, man. It's time to switch it up and take it to another level. Start going out and seeing everybody in fucking Texas. Fuck it. Get your ass out of here. I'm going to pop up on y'all ass. Right? I'm going to pop up on you. Y'all people in Dallas, y'all get ready too. I'm coming there too. I'm coming to Dallas too. I'm not going to be right in the projects with your ass. But where I come, I'm going to put myself in a position where you can get to me. You hear me? So you can get hit with that staff. Because a lot of y'all need to get in alignment with yourselves. You know, and this primarily your chakras might be spinning in the wrong direction. You heard me talk a couple of times on the live. You thought you retained all that information. You didn't retain none of it. Maybe 25% of it. And then 12% of that you remember. And it's like, nah, man. If you're not consistently aligned with the 1089 TV frequency and the platform of the frequency or the frequency of the platform, then, yo, you need to get in alignment. A lot of y'all need that tech around y'all neck. Y'all keep watching my videos, but y'all ain't got no tech around your neck. I don't know what to tell you because I'm telling you, as this thing goes on, we not going to be stuck on 101 with y'all. We're going to 102. And you can't really go through 102 until you finish 101. And once you got 101 right, then you can go through 102. Right? Because it's a spectrum of 101. It's 1089 degrees of physical knowledge between the feet and the sacral area. He said, I'm ready for my tech. Yeah, link is in the bio, beloved. Go check the bio. That's where the website is. And upon purchase, I talk to everybody that purchases. I even talked to my man, Somet, Golkep, out there in the Netherlands. Shouts out to Somet. I talked to him, my brother from the Netherlands. And Yeah, but I gotta talk to everybody. I was like, yo, man, I had to find a way to get in contact with you so we could communicate. You know, I have integrity with what I do and what I offer. And I have not heard one person say, oh man, this shit that, I don't feel the energy from this. You know, those that wasn't, it's because they was on some bullshit and they didn't put that shit around their neck. Right? They know they was on something dark. They was on some bullshit. That's why I make people put this around their neck before I let you in the community, man. I got to make sure your energy right, that you on a positive frequency. You ain't on something dark. All that darkness, we don't deal with all of that, man. That shit keep you in the lower field and it make you accessible to adverse forces, primarily those that want to cohabitate your body with you and then take your body over. Because you're already allowing your unconscious mind to override your decision making, right? See, the unconscious mind is supposed to take over the body for your heart, your breathing, you know what I mean? Your neural activity throughout the 11 systems in the body. That's what it's there to facilitate. You're supposed to just be focused on the matter at hand, your agenda, right? Your day-to-day affairs. But if you're not aware of yourself at that level, the unconscious mind will start overriding your decision making. And this is why you second guess yourself. You third guess yourself. You think it's something else. It's you yourself. And I tell people all the time, the final boss is your mind. It's not the devil. It's not the white man. It's not the Illuminati. It's your own mind. You have to overcome and override your own unconscious mind. That's an aspect of who you are. That's not you. That's just an aspect. The reason why I say it's an aspect of who you are is because you leave it in charge of your body's function while you focusing on what's going on outside of your peripheral vision within the field of your awareness. That's for you to concentrate on, right? So you gave the mind an assignment, right? That was the agreement when you first incarnated into the body, but you just don't remember all of that. We're very forgetful beings, right? And there are other beings that exist outside the visible spectrum on your planet, right? That can see you consistently make these conundrums. And it takes advantage of you because of that. And that's outside the range of what the baloney man is doing to you. And his litany of sacred or secret societies. I don't know what KRS One said in the video. You had to be more specific. But he's on that frequency. Shouts out to KRS One. Oh, he said through drinking. Yeah, drinking is a catalyst. It opens you up. It's an ether. They call it a spirit. When you go to the liquor store, they say beer, wine, and spirits. So you putting the spirit into your body. The more the spirit that you put into your body, the lower your vibration drops. The lower your vibration drops, now beings that don't have a physical body, they could jump into your body once you match the frequency that they're on. They can cohabitate your vessel with you. And if your spirit is strong enough, you end up giving yourself an exorcism. Like Poltergeist, when the little girl was throwing up the demon, that's what you're doing when you throwing up that liquor. You're throwing that demon up. You're throwing up that jinn, right? Jinn is a spirit. In Islam, they call that an evil spirit, the jinn. You say, let me get a gin and juice or a gin and tonic. That's a demonic entity that you're giving access to your vessel. And if you're vibrating too low, it could take you over easy. It could easily overtake you. And what do people be saying? Oh, man, I don't like being around that nigga when he start drinking. He don't be acting like himself. He get all this courage. It ain't that being got courage. It's the, it's the what's the name that he drinking. Yeah, I like whiskey too. Yeah, I prefer whiskey over. And I'm not no heavy drinker like that. You know what I mean? I take 2 shots of uh I take 2 shots of some Jack or some Johnny neat. No ice, no none of that. Then why? I'm good. I don't have to keep going all night. Like I don't got issues like that. Why? Yeah, man. People go too wild. Same thing with the other thing, right? Yeah, no ice. Just keep it neat. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that either. But you can't overindulge. Like my last name is Green. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because TikTok will ban me if I start talking. This for educational purposes only, TikTok. I'm not advocating any type of usage, right? But yeah, straight up. But doing too much going too far into the kush, it'll block your dream state, right? So you definitely want to take breaks from it, especially if you started young listening to Red Man like I did. As you get older, you know, I go ahead. I have me a little 1.5 of a Jilla, you know, something twisted up in the paper, in the Bible paper. That's as far as I go, and I won't even finish that mug. I'll be smoking on that thing all day long, right? All day, maybe the next day, and I'll put it out. I'll be good. Like it ain't. I didn't have my fun already, so it's like maturing, if you will, because I like my dreams, right? I got this new device I made called DreamTEK. And you put this up under your pillow, and I'm telling you, this shit work. I look forward to going to sleep. I'll be wanting to get in the bed like my mama used to talk to. Hey, it's 8:30, time to go to bed. I'm like, damn, mom, why we gotta go to bed at 8:30? Everybody else go to bed at 9 o'clock. I don't give a damn. Y'all going at 8. Mom make our ass get in the bed. It's available on the site, Billionaire Bob. These are available on the site. I'm telling you, when you wake up, you might wake up at 4 in the morning thinking that you done woke up late. Like, damn, you won't even be tired. It's the DreamTech Ultra. I got a couple of regular ones left too, but if you really want the experience, get the Ultra. You're gonna wake up focused, alert, no grogginess, no morning, what they call that, morning grumpiness will be over you. You just gonna hop your ass right up, get right to what you gotta do, right? Focused, alert. When you go to sleep at night, man, the sound is rest. You get the best rest that you've had since you was a child. I can guarantee it. If all my people that's been to tour duty, if you suffer with PTSD in any type of way, don't worry. It's going to nullify that so that you can enjoy your rest time. It balances out the cortisol and the serotonin levels in your body. So your body can be fully regulated with the onslaught of melatonin. It can be harmoniously released out your system. That's the best way I could put it. What the DreamTech Ultra does to you. Now the regular DreamTech, it do it too, but this is like all the way like you gonna fucking. With the regular DreamTech, people be like, I don't really be having no dream, but I be sleeping good. Yeah, that's what that's supposed to do. But when you get this, it ain't no telling where you gonna go with it. But your sleep definitely gonna be sound. You're gonna see the difference in quality of sleep. You're supposed to wake up restored. You're not supposed to wake up all tired and groggy and like, damn, eyes all red, feeling like feeling like you need 4 more hours of sleep. No, this shit it's gonna balance all that out. That's what y'all feeling. And when you put it under your pillow, it's clearing up uh, the microwave damage that's been done on a micro level to the gray matters in in your brain. It starts repairing all of that as well because it distributes so many electrons. It's so many electrons in this, and it's full of shungite, tourmaline, obsidian, uh, black sand, right? And I use larvacite in this. You know, I got another version that I'm working on as well. Uh, it's still going under the R&D, but I call that the AstralTEK Ultra. When I use AstralTEK, the crystals I use to make you astral travel, I haven't been able to get it to the point to where it doesn't feel like a dream when you're walking around. It feel like you in a dream state while you walking around in regular life. It take about 7 days for that to wear off. So I'm modifying the AstralTEK, and one of my students was like, she took it and she didn't even go to sleep with it. She said she just put it on her chest while she was listening to a song. And when the song went off, 4 hours had passed. It was a 4-minute song, but 4 hours had elapsed. And people be having different, the time will collapse. If your awareness is expanded, you will start collapsing time on itself. You know, that's what I was trying to tell the brother earlier about time. That's a concept. You know, it's a man-made concept, right? Just like when people start talking about spirits with genders and stuff. Spirits don't have genders. That's a anthropomorphism, right? Genders are organic. They belong to the visible field, right? Or the visible spectrum. It's not real, you know. And that's no knock on what everybody's, you know, for their allegories and symbolism purposes. But in actuality, you know, there is no big busted spirit woman. Right? Because you don't have mammal glands. So when I'm coming to the UK, I plan on coming, man. Gather up your troops. Because you know, some of my staff, they got their passports already. And we thinking about planning that trip. We want to come there. Come join the community, Richards. Yeah, I'm coming. I need to reach out to my people from the UK and get all of them. I'm gonna do a UK 1089 page so that we could. I need to lock in with y'all because I ain't gonna just come over there for a couple of days. We're gonna stay a couple of weeks and get it in. Oh yeah, we know it, man. We already know it. I didn't got the back signal. You know. I know y'all over there with those them fake lords and dukes and barons. Yeah, get the tech, man. Go order it. Order it, Kevin. You might have to put something extra on it, depending on how heavy it is. Cause they be charging the shit out of me to send stuff to the UK. You're gonna have to meet each other halfway on the shipping if you make a hefty order. I'm just gotta keep that disclaimer in place. One guy ordered some ancestor money and a pop socket or something. Or was it a piece of Dream Tech? And man, that shit cost me $56 to send that. Just that. That shit weighed 1 ounce and 10 grams. And it cost me $56. Yeah, 1089techvision.com, beloved. 1089techvision.com. You probably got some people that's in the UK that I know. Or that you might know these people. Yeah, hold up. I'm sending it to you now. There we go. Yep. Make sure you leave a Gmail address. Join Google Chat app. Download the Google Chat app. That way I could talk to you directly. I need to talk to you directly. I don't need to. I ain't gonna try to make a call through the WhatsApp. I don't want to open that WhatsApp app, man. That's what got my Cash App knocked down. I'm thinking. You welcome, beloved. Yeah, anybody got any questions? We at 35,000 likes. I ain't even took no questions yet. Anybody got any questions? Yeah, that Dream Tech though is, I got more pieces here. I called one of our new members, Beverly Jones. Shouts out to Beverly Jones. Beverly was she was just waking up. I was like, yo, you been using that Dream Tech? She said, yeah, this is under my pillow now. I was like, that sound like you just woke up. It's like, yeah, I was just getting up. Like, hell no, that shit had her knocked out. I got to tell y'all this too. Once you put that under your pillow, man, stay away from your bed because you're going to go right to bed. And I was talking to this doctor the other day. You're welcome, beloved. I was speaking with this doctor, and I was telling her about the Dream Tech. I got to take this lady some. But while we were talking about the Dream Tech, she said that's quite interesting because a person doesn't have to consume any drugs or something. And that's been one of her concerns within her medical field, is coming up with a remedy where people didn't have to take drugs all the damn time and had to get shots and get prescriptions. See, these doctors be knowing that stuff, not them chemical reactions in your body, they don't be right. That shit be throwing off your endocrine system. And some of their remedies to that is like, just cut out his appendix. Just cut out his tonsils. And it's like, they'd always want to cut something out. Like, that shit didn't, no. They said that to my son the other day. Like, you want us to cut out his tonsils? I was like, no, I didn't say that. Why y'all always? I asked the doctor. She's like, yo, we got to say that type of stuff. I was like, yo, man, fuck all of that. Who the fuck, you want your tonsils cut out? What the fuck is this? You hear me? So people don't think about their sleep though, man. Your sleep is very important. It's important that you get sound sleep. Sound sleep. If you're not waking up restored and rested, yo, something is off. Your endocrine system is thrown off. Part of it is from these cell phones. Part of it. Another part of it is the fast food. Another part of it is the stress levels from the reality that you live in that's not in symmetrical alignment with your purpose or what nature and your ancestral lineage had intended for you to do. You're not in alignment with it. And that's why you're stressed out. And I'm telling you, they've been sending you clue after clue all your life. The writing been on the wall and big big Las Vegas lights on your ass. Shouts out to Kevin Charles. And you just didn't pay attention to it. It's like, damn. Right? So I'm the closest thing to the frequency that has been sent to a lot of you guys, and you have ignored it. And it's the tone of my voice. It's the unique experiences that I've acquired over the course of my journey that's brought you guys into alignment and to bring that magnetic attraction to the 1089 TV platform, right? Because all I do is I assist people, man. I tell you, I'm here to wake up that lion in you. I'm here to wake up that tiger, that jaguar in you, that eagle in you. You hear me? I'm here to wake that thing up. I'm here to wake up that divine deity that's lying dormant in you. And you had to answer the call. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. And those that's chosen, they choose themselves, right? And they put themselves on a higher timeline. And they don't get caught in the same cycles and loops that they used to, that take you on the proverbial road to nowhere, right? You have to start dialing back in with our dearly departed. Someone has to be depositing energy into the afterlife on their behalf, because no one has been doing it. Don't act like you got an uncle or an aunt that was doing it, because many of you haven't. If not all of you, you gonna be the one. And it might be a great niece, a nephew, or a grandchild that's gonna be watching what you doing and gonna end up pouring a libation for you. You hear me? They gonna end up pouring one for you. And you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm glad I did what I did. You know, shouts out to Dr. John Henry Clark, may the ancestors be with him, right? And he said, if you don't pour your libations for your dearly departed, ain't nobody gonna remember you after you gone. Yes, I did say that. Shouts out to DJ Lemon Line. Your new year is your birthday. You get one birthday, right? Every year after that is your new year. And what day was you born on, DJ Lemon? I want to say it was 30. Was that you that said you was born on the 30th? I forgot your day. The 28th. Okay. On the 28th, every 28 seconds, every 28 minutes, every 28 hours, every 28 days, every 28 weeks, every 28 years, there's a window of opportunity that opens up for you to take your life to a more beneficial timeline. You just have to be aware of it. And so every 28 seconds is popping up. That's how constant that existence is co-conspiring for you to have the most optimum experience while you're living here. He said he turned 28 this year. You in alignment, man. Jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. Right? You got to do your best. That's the 28th natural is best. You have to do your best. That's a fire deity. Right? But that's a whole nother layer to it. But stay in alignment with those 28s and watch what start happening. Right? You're going to always get a clue. Your clue is 28 and 56. Anytime you catch 28 on the clock, and you done already caught it, you just didn't think it was a significant like that. Right? He said the 7th of September. Yeah, that's your day. 9-7. That's your number. But every 7 seconds for you, Kevin, every 7 seconds, every 7 minutes, every 7 hours, right? Every 7 days, every 7 weeks, every 7 months, every 7 years is windows that open up for you to take this. Yeah, every 7 seconds. That's how fast it be coming for you. You like, damn. It be right in here. That's why I said it be written in lights for y'all asses. You're not in alignment with it. Not just you per se. I'm just saying the average commoner, right? You too worried about Happy New Year on December 31st. And if your birthday ain't on December 31st, it ain't your New Year. It's that person, whoever on that day, it's their New Year. They're bringing themselves into a greater alignment of benefiting from the energy of Janus, who is a demigod that is held in high regards to the Romans and the Greeks, right? So a lot of stuff that the people here in the New World of North America is doing, unbeknownst to them, you're benefiting from the energy of gods that you're not even acknowledging or don't even know that you acknowledging when you saying thank you, God, or help me, God, which is quite vague. God is a title. like manager or supervisor, right? Or employee or brother or sister. It's just a title. It doesn't describe the definitive being behind the title. And people say, oh man, I believe in God. And I'll be like, which God? You know the God? No, I don't know which God. Do you know where the word God came from? No, I don't. It just, God came from God. It tells you right in the book of John. Like, yeah, but who invented the word God? See, people don't research these things and find out that word was invented by a man. So when they tell people Happy New Year on their birthday, they look at me like I'm crazy. Of course, I mean, they program. Of course, they gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, man, it's my birthday. You know, you only get one birthday. Tell them next time they look at you crazy, be like, hey, you only get one birthday. That's the day that you was born. That's why they call it your birthday. You're welcome, beloved. That's you get that one day to be born. And that's it. There is no more days. In the absoluteness, when you go outside the range of human understanding, right? In human comprehension, when you transcend or ascend that limited ceiling, what ends up occurring is you realize that you only got one day. And that's the day that you were born. And then the day that you transition out of your body. Yes, Mother Eater Bird. Yes, yes. So every 3 days, seconds, minutes, and no, I ain't saying that it adds up to it. I said those were when windows of opportunity for you to move to a more beneficial timeline presents itself to you. It's just up to you to make the decision to put yourself on that grid line where that beneficial timeline is available to you. You can shift to that reality every 3 seconds, depending on the day that you're born, right? That's giving you, that's your codex, that's your code, that's your access code to access higher timelines or higher realities, right? Or beneficial realities that's most beneficial to you. What makes these things more accessible to you, listen, is being in alignment with your thoughts, your words, your actions, right? Yourself, your mother and your father and their mothers and fathers, you know, the planet, the sun, right? Your own oversoul. Then you can start picking up on the transmissions of what was already blueprinted within the destiny of your life. And you will start aligning yourself with what you was meant to do. And when you align yourself in that position, then you can access those terminals quite effortlessly, right? But we go through the things that we go through and we experience life in the way that we do because we're not doing what was assigned to us to do, right? We're not doing what nature intended us for us to do. We're doing what the baloney man, Sam Hain, and his cohorts have suggested for us to do. And we get caught up in his matrix and his cycles and his loops. And we end up losing sight of our own life and our own reality. You know what I mean? They wring you out to dry, pretty much. That's what they do. They're parasites, vampires. They can't be in the sun. Ah! But these are the beings that we take our social cues from. And I'm not saying that something wicked about them, which it is, but that's neither here nor there. But that's okay for them to have their traditions and their beliefs and whatever. That's cool, but that shit ain't in alignment with us. We got to have things that align with us. And we got to start moving on that trajectory so that we can get the best outcomes, right? You want the best outcome. You just don't want any type of outcome. And existence is with you. It's co-conspiring with you. And it may have to lay out an elaborate mapping system for you to work through to give you the most beneficial uh, terminal that's going to get you there in a timely manner, right? But you got that codex or that access code that is the day that you was born, and you can use that number as a catalyst to take you there. It definitely take you there. So let's just say, for the instance, Mother Edinburgh, she born on the 3rd. Every time you see a 3, every time you see a 6, every time you see a 9, you got a lot of numbers that you can see. The 12, the 15, the 18. Those are all indicators to let you know, right? If you was born on July the 6th, every 6 days, every 6 seconds, you should look at the 6, the 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, right? Same thing with the 5th. Every 5 seconds. When you look on the clock, every time you see a 5, a 10, a 15, a 20, 25, 30, those are other indicators letting you know, like, yo, move on this shit right now. And you be sitting there all hesitant, like, oh man, shit, I'm not gonna move right now. And then when you do decide to move, it be outside the range of that opening. And you wonder how come things didn't work out for you as you intended for it. It's like, damn. Yeah, that 555 is letting you know, like, yo, you thinking right. Whatever you was thinking when you seen it, you was in alignment, right? It's asking like, yo, go ahead, go now. It's the time to go. You know, that's the way that it is, man. And we just got to get in alignment with our psychic center, because from the 13th chakra, which is the galactical gateway, that's where your higher self is sending. That's how much of a more broader view on your reality that it has over you, right? You down here in the root, that shit up there in the 13th seat, it sees so much shit, you better listen to it. Even if you don't know why you listening to it. At some point in time, it will reveal itself why you needed to listen to that and get on that timeline. Far too often, the white and be right. I'm telling you, it'll be in Las Vegas lights for your ass. Just like with the moon magic. Now, if you want to start a new job, a new house, a new career, a new relationship, a new skill, this is the time between the 18th and the 20th. Start that shit then. Don't expect a result that fast. Seed your intentions now. You have to seed your intentions. If you don't seed your intentions, then you done missed the time for it to be seeded. Most people will attempt to start things off on a full moon. That's when the harvest comes in. Some people will start during the 4th phase of the moon. Some will go in the 3rd phase, during the crow phase, and be like, damn, how come my stuff now? How come I wanted this job? I did this. I made a petition to my ancestors. Nothing happened. Yeah, because you started at the wrong time. It's a time to begin and there's a time to end. You got to just know the times. And this is why I say it's essential to have a guide, to have a teacher, to have a mentor, especially if you know you don't know this shit. You know, we seek conveniency and leniency over learning. It's like, yo, just learn. Do what you're supposed to do in order to gather the results that you seek to obtain. You just have to, man. I'm telling you, I done helped so many people that was down bad. And I ain't really help them. I just gave them the instructions. They followed my direction and they came out the other end. Some people stick around. Some people like, shit, this nigga got me out of a bad time, and they get the fuck on. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for. He said, I'm helping him right now. I'm glad I could be of assistance. I help a lot of brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? But that's what experience does. I'm not saying I'm the most erudite and I got all of the damn knowledge. I'm not saying all of that. But the stuff I know, I fucking know it. You know. And for my students, as y'all know, you got a 14-year curve with what you learning from. Because I got 14 years of trial and error that you don't got to go through. Yep, look at that. Magic's been around about 13 years. She has. I remember when you took my discourse. I didn't just start this. My issue was I was only putting 100% into what I do. And my mother came to me one night while I was in my truck on the road, and she said, Baba, my mama been calling me Baba since I was a baby. She said, Baba, you need to put this truck away and put 1,000% into Dr.RÉ. That's where your heart is at. That's where you feel most complete. That's where you feel fulfilled is teaching. I invested so much money into bettering myself. You hear me? I can't let it go to waste and to squander and just keep it all hoarded up in the damn closet some fucking way. This information was meant to get out here and teach. And like I was telling the Nawapian brother earlier to come in here trying to see what the fuck I know. Like, nigga, you just basically told on yourself and said, oh man, I've been wasting time. Let me see what this nigga know. Nigga, we way past the time to be seeing what a nigga know. You better get out here and show. See, you don't even have to see what I know. You should be able to see that shit in my eyes. You feel me? Real Nawapians, that shit is in their eyes. I don't even have to ask you a Nawapian. I don't have to ask you how much you know or none of that shit. Go look at my track record. I have over 30,000 followers, over 3,000 videos upload. That's with a shadow ban. They started shadow banning me once they seen too many people was paying attention. And I give it up for Baba every chance I get. And no, see, I already knew. I already knew my purpose, DJ. It was just the fact that I wasn't putting 1,000% into it. I'm up here trying to run a trucking business when I needed to be investing in my Orgonite pieces, my brand, which I had all this stuff wrote out, but I always thought that I needed to be doing something else and invest my money into what I wanted to do. You feel me? I was doing it backwards. But when my mother had unveiled to me, was like, no, Baba, you got to get it out the mud and start from ground zero and give 1,000% to get the effort that you want. You can't invest into yourself. You just got to put all of that effort into it. Right. And I was like, you're right, mama. And I got plenty of witnesses because this happened about 5 or 6 years ago, right when the COVID hit. Right before the COVID hit. That's what made the COVID hit. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm about to start throwing my own events. This before I got the truck. I was like, I'm going to start throwing my own events and getting out here. And then they started quarantining everybody. Nobody could come out the house. I was like, damn. That's when I knew I was on to something. But I allowed myself to get sidetracked and chasing the money. Like, man, I'm going to go start me a trucking business then. And I should have kept on doing what I was doing. And instead, I allowed that to throw me off, and it just didn't work out for me. But that I wasn't in alignment with what I was supposed to be doing. But it shook me up enough to realize that, no, this is what I'm doing now is what I was supposed to be doing. I had to bring the staff down from the fourth plane. It was past time for that. You hear me? And I'll be talking to people on the phone. I was still selling my discourse. People, I was showing them how to do their altars. I was still selling devices and all that, but I was putting 100% into it versus 1,000%. When I started putting 1,000%, I clocked 72 hours for the week. Go look on my YouTube. Go check the timestamps of them videos I've been uploading over the last month. You're gonna be like, damn, this nigga uploading all these videos? When you go look on my TikTok, you see all them videos that's uploaded? I'm getting the word out there. Said trucking would have made me a millionaire. Yeah, it would have. But at the time when I got in, I wasn't in alignment. The diesel was like $6.50 a gallon. I was paying up to $7.25 a gallon. You know what I mean? People didn't want to they was lowballing me on the jobs because I didn't have no seniority. You hear me? It was real rough. That was a very rough period. And that's what happens when I wasn't in alignment with that shit. I studied it for a couple of years and all that. That shit didn't matter. I wasn't in alignment with what I was supposed to be doing. When I got in alignment with what I was supposed to be doing, unbeknownst to my own being, I've come a long way. Just saying, I started from $25. No bullshit. $25. And this after my truck. After 42,000 in the red. Because when I should have stopped at 10. Like, oh shit, this is enough. Fuck it. But I ain't no coward. I'm like, I'm gonna make that shit bounce back, and this shit just wouldn't never. It kept getting more and more every fucking month. I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm all the way from home for a whole month at a time. I had a sibling that passed away on me. It was just like, man, I got back centered again and bye. Because you gotta have spiritual application, man. If you don't have that in your life, oh yeah. Hey, I learned from the best. I had a great teacher, the greatest of teachers. So, like I said, it ain't like I didn't have enough tools in my repertoire in order to handle my business or to troubleshoot through anything. It was just I had too much not to be doing, not to be teaching. Because we were groomed to teach, and that go for everybody that come from Wahani, Ramesses Lodge, number 9. If you come from the Great Mirror, number 19, then guess what? You supposed to be out here fucking teaching. Don't tell me that you was on Wahani and you in here trying to ask me questions about what I know or don't know, or you trying to see what I know. That you telling me that you've been wasting your time. You hear me? Because I don't even got that type of time to go to nobody. I don't even got time to go to nobody else TikTok. And there ain't no disrespect to nobody. I think I did enough of that. Going to other people's TikTok, helping people promote their platforms. I've paid my dues in those regards, right? But I don't even have that type of time no more. I still got about 15 hours worth of videos that I got on my editing board that I'm chopping up to upload to YouTube. And I gotta go to YouTube. I ain't been to YouTube today. Every time I go live, it's full content. But that's what happens when you pour your energy into generating and building your own reality. The brand has expanded. I got over 500,000 views to my website. You know what I'm saying? The traffic is coming in on my website. A lot of people, hey man, let me help you with this, Dr.RÉ. Let me help you with that. People start wanting to help you and want to start assisting in what you got going on because they see that you believe in yourself. You know what I mean? People know a winner when they see one. Not to say that I'm out here begging that, because I'm not. But people come to me and be like, yo, man, hey, I want to drop this off on you, Doc. Hey, Doc, hey, take that. I'm like, yo, what's this shit for? Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Right? Y'all tap that screen for me. Come join us in Houston if you in Texas. This is your sign. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys sticking around. All my people in Houston, come join us, and my people in Dallas. If you in Dallas and you can hear me right now, get prepared. We coming to Dallas too. Austin, we gonna come for Austin too. I done already went across the country in the truck before. So it ain't nothing for me to get in the car and do it. I'm telling you. But all y'all people outside the range of Texas, y'all need to gather at least 5 people. Bring 5 people together, and I'll book the spot. Yes. Yes, I'm in Texas. I need at least 5 people. Or it don't be worth it. Yeah, it don't be worth it. But the staff itself is worth the price of admission. And I'm gonna tell you, people can't wait to get hit with that staff. Like, yo, man, it's time for me to get my attunement. So y'all better make sure y'all here in July. You know, because that's when my assistant will be available. You know, we didn't already pinned it out. I didn't talk to her already. You know, she's a writer, so in July she gonna be there. And when y'all come out to the seminar, after I hit you with the staff, she's gonna sidebar you and bring you on in and tell you what she's seeing happening while I was hitting you with the staff. And she 1,000 for 1,000 with what she unveils to people. She 1,000 for 1,000. So you'd be like, oh shit. Like, you don't know what to say. Right? But this staff is no joke. Get them chakras spinning in the right direction. And if you already been meditating, if you already been eating right, if you already been on the right vibration, your spiritual gifts should be unlocked. By the time I hit you with that staff 4 times, your shit should be unlocked. It's just start unlocking in. Right? Some of you need more than 4. Some of you might need the whole 9 before it kick in. You know. Shouts out to my beloved brother Congo. I always got to bring Congo up because he was the first one to tell me, like, yo, son, you opened up my Kundalini. I activated his Kundalini after I hit him with the staff. He was in the car bugging out. I was like, yo, man, yeah, right? He was like, yo, son, you opened up my Kundalini. I didn't mean to do that. I can't sit up here and stunt and say that I knew that that's what would happen. But my staff is alive. It's alive. It has a sentient consciousness. It knows exactly what it's thinking and is doing. Right? And it showed me. This is my first time getting hit with the staff. And I'm telling you, it brought me back to that episode that I had with the Labradorite. And it's still going on right now. He said, if I could bring 5 people in my Mercedes, you just find 5 people in the UK. If you can find 5 people there, because we didn't already put it in the ethers that we coming to the UK for 2027. Because we already got everything covered for 2026. I'm just talking in the pop-ups for the in-between time for people. Right? Here in the States. Pretty much here in Texas. He said he got over 100. Okay, yeah, we got to get on the line then. We got to get on the line, beloved, me and you. We need to get on the line. And I talked to my staff because we already talked about it. Shouts out to Ricky. We was talking about coming out there and doing some recon just to see. You see that, Ricky? You see how that guy just popped up like that? But we was just talking about this, not even 2 weeks ago. Paragon, is that the name of the spot? Yeah, we'll come on out there, man. I'll pack my heavy duty case. He said Paragon. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm a doer, man. You know. Okay, a person of a particular quality. Yeah, I mean, you can say that. You know, I like to lead by example. I like to set the example to set a precedence. I'm gonna take the fuck off. Like, period. I don't have to think about it too much. You start thinking about things too much, you don't never end up doing that shit. Unconscious mind overrides it. Like, nah, don't do that because of this and because of that. You start listening to all that shit. Like, nah, let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, man. He said, "Is the tech real?" My OrgoniteTEK is so tough that I don't care if you don't feel shit. I got one person in our community. Shouts out to Tia Garcia. Tia was like, this was the first time that she ever felt the energy from the crystal after she put my tech around her neck. Like, if you feel like you don't be feeling nothing, that shit gonna happen for you, right? It's gonna make you do it, even if you don't want to feel it. You gonna feel that shit. Like, whoa, hold on a second. This shit might be a little. This shit ain't no joke. Especially that one with the 33 crystals. Putting that 33 crystals around your neck, boy, this shit gonna be uncomfortable as hell, boy. That shit gonna get kind of uncomfortable. You're like, oh shit, I gotta take this thing off. But it does bring all of the electrons in your body into symmetrical alignment, right? The main thing that everyone in the community is fascinated with is the degree of synchronicity that they experience after putting on the tech. It's like that shit go beyond explanation. It goes beyond the laws of physics. Things start occurring in your reality that you know shouldn't be happening. And you wondering like, yo, how was this happening? Now I do have certain sequences of power, words of power, certain hikas that I don't share with the public that I was given under good, sacred trust. I'm not supposed to show people, but since I can't show it to people or share them with them, I endow it into the organite. And that way you can get it. And that's what's been going on. And that's been going on pretty much the last 7-8 years, but just the last 3 years, or what is it, 4 years on TikTok? I want to say I've been on here about 4 years now. The last 4 years here on TikTok, it's just been accelerating. And you can go to the bottom of my TikTok page and work your way up to now and see, you can see the evolution of the tech. You can see the evolution of me. You can see the evolution of the brand. You can see the evolution of me disseminating the information, right? All of that stuff get clearer and conciser as more time goes on, more refined, more focused and concentrated, right? The bottom line of what's being driven here. Because I'm connected to the afterlife. It's not something that I wish for. It's not something that I aspired to do. It just came to me, And I was already on that time prior to my mother passing. May the ancestors be with her. But once she passed, I knew I had an ally in the afterlife that I was close and fond of, that also, my mom used to be on our tablet, my mother, and we used to meditate together. We would build together, not all the time, but for the time that we lived together, we always went to the Nawapian ball together, making my garage. I had a lot of spiritual experiences with my mother. So when she passed on, that rapport, the communication I have with her is at an elite level. You know what I'm saying? It's at an elite level, man. And she over there putting in that work. She got other people over there putting in that work too. And unbeknownst to many of you, they over there sharing their offerings with your people, you know. And that's why I have to make myself available the way that I do, because that's one I'm a big deal over there. And they wondering how come your wokey woke ass, not saying nobody here in particular. And they like, damn, this motherfucker act like they got it all figured out, but they ain't did shit for me. You know what I'm saying? They poured a libation for them. You ain't made no offerings. But you want to show people how deep and heavy you are with something that you didn't even come up with under your own volition. That shit don't get no ashe in the spiritual universe, man. It don't. They want to see what you've been doing, how dedicated and devoted you are to those you owe a debt of gratitude to. Because most people, once they get buried in the ground, they get forgotten about. Nobody thinking about them. Nobody has a positive thought towards them. No one is telling their stories on a consistent basis where it keeps their memory alive. Because when you do that, it raises their ranking in the spiritual universe, right? So you have to be dialed in. You have to be dedicated. You have to integrate it into your lifestyle. You know, I'm not saying to stop living and keep bumping your head on the ground in front of your altar. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the beginnings of your day need to be carved out routinely, putting energy towards the gratitude to those that you owe a debt of gratitude to, right? When you do this, it lets you know exactly where your life is, right? And which direction it should be headed in. And for the being that was asking that earlier, because I already had my altar up when I was doing my truck. Sometimes I would just stop back through the house just so I could hit my altar and refresh it and make my libations. It started putting a wane on that rapport that I was keeping with the afterlife. And when everything came 1089, that's what my mom told me. Like, yo, man. And my granddaddy came to me too. He was like, fuck that truck. And when I woke up, we was 30 miles outside of the city that my grandfather grew up in, Wadley, Alabama. Shouts out to Wadley, Alabama. Randolph County. I was 30 miles outside of Randolph County in Wadley, Alabama when I had that dream, and I didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? I was in the truck, knocked out like a motherfucker. Shouts out to Amin Ra. He was driving like shit. And we woke up at the little spot where we had to make the drop at. I was like, shit, finally we can go get a damn hotel room. That'd be my whole thing. I just want to go get a room for the night and go lay down in the bed. We dropped that load off. I was like, man, my granddaddy just told me, fuck that truck. And it was synchronic the way that everything popped off. Because my sister was on her last leg. She was dying, right? She was transitioning out of her body. And I took a load from San Antonio to Charlotte. And I didn't have to have it there to Monday. But I picked up the load on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. By Friday night, because I did take another load. That's what happened. That's why I stopped. Took another load to Alabama on top of that. Got both the loads in there. Dropped one off in Alabama. Had it there that night. rest, stopped in Atlanta. I seen my sister. You hear me? And then I went on to Charlotte. When I came back, my sister had passed. They was taking her out of the hospice. I guess they were just going to, stick her with some morphine or something. But I went to sleep. When they told me my sister had passed, I went to sleep in my father's altar room. My father got an altar too. And that's when I seen my sister and my granddaddy. He was like, Ali, what you doing here? I like, I'm here to see Niecy. I said, where Niecy at? He's like, oh, let me call her. He called her and she showed right up. And she was bugged out that I was capable of seeing her. She was like, how are you able to see me like that? I said, she said, you're not dead. I said, you're not dead either. She said, I'm not dead. I said, I know. She's like, why do they be telling people that they die? I was like, they don't know. She was like, you said that. I said, I know. I remember telling you that all the time. She was like, damn, you was not lying. I was like, no, I thought I was lying though. It was bugged out. Like, because she had just passed. But see, in the spiritual universe, time moves a lot faster than it does over here. Every 5 minutes here can equate for 5 hours there. So every hour here is like 300 hours in the spiritual universe. That's the equivalent of about 12 days, right? In 1 hour is the equivalent of 12 days over there. So they vibrating at a much rapid frequency than we are. You got to carry around these bones, the muscles, the blood, the water in your body, your organs. It's a burden. May not like how it sounds, but that's what it is. It's a burden that you accepted. You accepted this burden and said, you know what? I want to go ahead and do the horizontal mambo. I want to see what that soda tastes like. I want to feel what wind is. I want to experience laughter. We just didn't consider all of the caveats that came with us engaging these experiences in the material reality. Now you know. Now you don't, nobody had to tell you now. It's like Morpheus talking to Neo in the Matrix. When he said, can't nobody tell you what the Matrix is. You got to see it for yourself, right? Well, that's how life is. And that's what you were told when you were on the threshold of the spiritual universe, petitioning to custodians of bloodlines, which are your ancestors, that would allow you to incarnate into this dimension. Because you wanted the best car that you could have a possible, and that was the Homo sapien. But you had to get permission. You just can't come into the, hey, I want to be born. It don't work like that. Right? There's certain protocols. And I got all these videos up on my TikTok. On my YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel and you look at the videos, not the lives. I talk about it in the lives too, but if you go look at the videos, I need to put together a playlist so I can just put everything in the playlist for y'all ass. But they all labeled, they all titled, I'm doing a great job over there on YouTube. Shouts out to YouTube. They highly impressed with my thumbnails. And shouts out to Ricky Rodriguez. He's been a great help on the software side of things. Helping put this stuff together, man. So the presentation to stay consistent, concise, and I'm just constantly working, always multitasking, just like my beloved brother Double R2 M2. He putting that work in, man. But we putting this stuff out there, and like I said, for my brother in the UK, we do plan on coming to the UK. You gather your people together. I want to come out there for a couple of weeks. But we're going to do some recon first. We're going to come out there and fill everything out, align with the people that we align with, and see what happens from there. You're welcome. He's calling me Paragon. Yeah. Anybody else? Y'all got any other questions? We're gonna get on off of here. Right on, Kevin Richards. Yeah, I gotta get up with my sister, Lady of the Crown, Lady J. What's the other sister out there? I got like 4 people out there that I'll be rocking with. You know, they got pyramids and everything. They be placing some hefty orders. Some UK people be coming through. They be placing the orders. And one of the sisters started a garden. She got a Jamaican restaurant out there. And she ordered a big pyramid and put the pyramid in the ground. And she said that the sun hadn't been out there in like 6 months. They ain't seen the sun. And the sun kept coming out so consistently that she started building her a garden. You know what I mean? I know how to break through all of that mess. And I showed people at the seminar. It was raining cats and dogs and lizards and frogs. And that rain eased the fuck on up. And the sun came all the way the fuck out. Right? In 5 minutes. I just made a brief petition to one of the water deities. And that shit stopped. Did it not, Ricky? We was going out there to give people the VIP treatment so that they could get hit with the staff. And they got hit with that mug too. The ground was kind of wet. I like the ground when it's wet. Put my feet in the dirt, and the sun was out. It was shining. I know people was kind of fucked up. Then when they came out there, they seen us with the staff and shit. Like, damn, who the hell is this nigga? You seen that one dude just sitting there on the bench just watching the whole time. That motherfucker didn't move. Like, shit, I'm gonna see what the hell this nigga got going on. Because you can feel the energy, especially when we all together. Like, it's undeniable. You can tell that you're in the presence of something special when we're all together. You can feel the energy. You know what I mean? We went to go eat out at that Chinese restaurant. Them people they saluted us. They not about to forget you. You become unforgettable. You hear me? Everywhere where we went, them people remember. And see, they switched up the people at the Jeju, but at one point at the Jeju, it got to the point where the people was kind of expecting us. They knew when we was coming and everything. Like, oh shit, it's that group. It's them people. They could kind of tell. But this thing is growing. We impacting the planet. We are the custodians of the planet. We are planetarians. We are raising planetarians, right? So you can fulfill your obligations on the planet's behalf. You paying a debt of gratitude to the planet. You paying your debt of gratitude to your dearly departed. You're giving reverence to the sun, right? You're giving reverence to the elements at large. And you're impacting this reality in a positive way. These are all the things that balance out your scales. Next thing to do is prepare for the afterlife. So that when you do make it over there, right, you will have a seamless transition and you will have a little ranking up under your belt for all of the just deeds that you done while you was on this side. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way that it's always going to be. And we will have clarity in this great band time called Dr.RÉ. I take one more question. Anybody else have any other questions? Any other questions? I'm going to get on off of here. Come join us in Houston. This Saturday, all my people in Houston, Texas. If you stay in the Houston area, we will be back here live on TikTok tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And I'm letting the people know, leading up to that time, I will be in Houston Saturday morning. I want to say that's Herman Park. I'm going to go out to Herman Park, project some hickers. I'm going to clear the area. Right? I'm going to go ahead and hit that park with my energy. Right? I might hit a couple of people with staffs if they open to it, just because. Right? And we going to get it on in. Shouts out to all my people in the 1089 tech space and my AAA students. All of you guys that stay in the Houston area, I want to see you guys. You better bring your ass on out there. You better bring your ass on out there. Because y'all don't got to even pay for it. So y'all need to really come on out and get down with the get down. He said, when I'm coming to the UK. That's next year, 2027. I think I said that 3 times, Kevin. 2027. I can't be definitive. I'm not, I put that shit out there. I move on. I'm telling you, we didn't already discuss this. Me and my staff members, we didn't already talked about the UK. We talked about this last year. We was talking about UK. I already was talking about it this time last year. Just like I'm talking about the seminars, the events that we did this year. I was talking about this shit last year. And I tell you guys, I'll say it again. If you don't know what you're doing for 2027 right now, don't wait until December 31st and say, oh man, it's a new year, a new me. No, you already late. You should already have that shit. This year is squared away from you, 2026. By the time I do the next seminar, I'm going to already know where I'm going to be in London. I'm going to already know. And I found out, shouts out to my pops, he hit me up the other day. It's like, yo, we got a cousin that stay in London? I said, damn, for real? It was like, yeah, Aunt Overa. He said, I need a special tech. Yeah, just hit me up, man. Hit me up, beloved. But I got a cousin out there in London, and I've been venerating her grandmama. That's not even my grandmama. That's my great grandmother's sister. And I venerate her every day. And for her, her granddaughter, she's older. She's up in age. She's like my dad age, like 70. But I'm sure she got children and shit like that. Like, yeah, she in the UK. And she coming to Alabama. So when she come to Alabama, I'm going to make sure I make it my business to at least talk to her if I don't align to see her. And I'm telling you, that's a foregone conclusion. We're going to look to do that too. We covered to the UK. Cheerio. In it. All right. Coming on over there. Let the peaky blinders know. All right. Put away their blades. Yeah, you said we love you. I love y'all too, man. Yeah, I love y'all too. Yeah. But that's it, you guys. We're going to get on off of here. We will be back tomorrow. It's Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day Thursdays. And we're going to get it in tomorrow. All right? So let me keep uploading these videos. If you haven't followed me on YouTube, follow me, Dr.RÉ Tech. I got almost at 300 videos on the YouTube now. So We moving at an accelerated pace. Thank you, Kevin Richards. Man, that brother's showing nothing but love. Yeah. We look forward to coming over there and seeing you guys. All right. So tomorrow, you guys, 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to pull up here, and we're gonna take it from here into the YouTube. So we're gonna do Tahuti Thoth Day Thursdays. We're gonna do that on TikTok, and then we're gonna carry it over to the YouTube. All right. So join us there. See you guys later. May the ancestors be with you in this great day and time called Dr.RÉ, and enjoy your evening. Badu.